and welcome to Giant Strides, where we celebrate the people and progress transforming our world. This weekly program is proudly sponsored by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, NDPHC, under the leadership of Engineer Jennifer Adihije. My name is Dorothy Monday. Today we are taking a tour into the Geregu power plant located in the heart of Kogi State. We will be spotlighting the activities of the facility, its challenges and achievements of the project with NDPHC. We'll be meeting with the dedicated workers at Geregu to see how their efforts are transforming communities by keeping the lights on. Let's dive in. Behind every watt of electricity is a human story, a child studying under a bright light, a business owner keeping their shops open late, or a hospital saving lives. As a key player in Nigeria's power sector, the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC, has been established to tackle Nigeria's chronic power supply issues, particularly through the development of gas-fired power plants, transmission lines, and distribution infrastructure. Touring the Geregu power plant located in Ajahokuta, Kogi State, we sat down with Engineer Wasiu, the Chief Operating Officer at Geregu, who shared how his team keeps the 435 megawatt power plant running smoothly to ensure grid stability.
Which it has to follow, it has to be created, it has to be, so many things have to be, there's going to be a reduction in pressure. So from that, now pass it down, straight to the gas turbine.
After we have heating. Then after heating, we have pollution.
A lot of process. That's why you see the hot water bath.
$22.
20 what?
22.
What's the megawatt?
It's 80 megawatts.
What happened? As against 145?
Yes, the NCC has given that.
Or who gave the directives?
NCC.
NCC. Oh, okay.
The personnel's name is Sada.
Okay. That's good. So you have your 3 units available?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good job. Which of the burner is on?
It's burner 2.
Burner 2. Thank you. Good job. Well done. Now, you can see that we have a system that this is our control room where we carry out a lot of operations, and it's a very good system. You don't need to move up and down. It's just a one click. A one click for startup, the unit is on and synchronized to grid in about 3 minutes, which is very, very rare in another plant. So it's a Siemens machine, just like I mentioned. Each of the units is 145 megawatt. As a whole, is 435 megawatt. And presently, we're generating 80 megawatt as against 145. though we are supposed to be at 110, so that at least because of the frequency and some other issues, which they can also be addressed. But they have already pegged us at 80. So I think when the frequency goes, we'll be able to go to our base load. If not base load, at least 110 megawatts. And these are the control rooms guys. They are lovely guys. And you can see these are the people giving you the power. So anytime you have power, know that there are people behind the scene. They don't sleep. It's 24 hours anyway, so they are on shift. So you cannot just leave the machine. So everything has to be. Thank you very much.
Generally, as a plant, we are committed to hazard inspections. Hazard inspections in the plant is what we do on a regular basis. We inspect hazard. Hazard is anything that can cause a harm. It's always available everywhere. The way you think is not available. If I should go and see how to carry out hazard inspection inside this office now, I can pick up more than 10 or 5 things that I know can cause a harm. So this is what we do on daily basis to carry out hazard inspections. We inspect the environment to see if there's anything that can cause a harm, to reduce it to a minimal level. On daily basis, we carry out safety talk. We will call a safety talk on daily basis. Everybody assemble, and that is carried out 3 times in a week. In 3 times in a week, we had to with the operational team, the shift leader, the team lead on activities before they kick off for their job activities. But everybody in the plant, be who you are, big or small, any department you find yourself, everybody assembled at the car park. We have a safety brief where everybody is talked about safety, discuss about safety, share ideas about safety. For 10 minutes, after 10 minutes, everybody is back for their job activities. Additionally, as a plant, we are committed to permit to work procedure. Permit to work procedure is a legal document that enables anybody to work inside the power plant. Without a permit to work, nobody is expected to go to the power plant. A permit to work has a legal document because the legal document is to ensure the safety of the staffs, safety of anybody working with us, whether you are from the community, wherever you find yourself. All is to reduce any rate of accident that could likely occur in the system. The permit has other documents that's attached to it, but if you want, I will talk about this morning. It's a risk assessment. The risk assessment is the aspect of when this risk is being assigned on the job. Every job will know there is a risk. For example, we want to eat breakfast, afternoon, lunch, or dinner, wherever. Anytime we want to put something out, and there's a risk. The risk of how I'm going to swallow it. Okay, when we swallow it, okay, it's going to get to the stomach. But the process of taking it to the mouth and swallow it, if there are any constraint, you find out that it can miss the track. Inability to breathe and all that, that's the risk. So all that part of the risk assessment will take out of the job and will ensure that this risk document is being attached. And after the team carry out that risk assessment, the safety team comes in and assesses it to see if it's complying with standard. And if every kind of accident that could likely occur on that job is now minimally down and it cannot cause a harm. If peradventure at the end of the day, after they assess it and the safety team comes in and sees that there could be an accident on the job, no matter what kind of job it is, no matter who is handling this, contractor or whatever, that job will be put on hold until the minimal risk has come up to say it's 0. It cannot cause a harm, it cannot harm anybody. That's the risk assessment document that's attached to it. Anybody that comes to this plant in and out must take that legal document and must approve, and once it's been approved, job can go out. As a plant, we also have health and safety policy that is being signed by our MD presently and is also stationed in all locations in the plant. Talking about rules and regulations in the plant before we get to the emergency procedure. Rules and regulations in the plant, we'll not talk about few because this is a bulky one, so I will not want to go into all of them. The few ones I just want to talk about is the use of mobile phone is highly prohibited. Mobile phone we know is very important for communication, but at the same time, the Regulation Commission that's NEC. NEC has strictly warned that all operational systems must not make use of a mobile phone. Mobile phone has a lot of chances of accidents, causes accident, causing distraction on the job, and every where there is a gas power plant, it can cause ignition in case of when it's discharge of gas unnecessary. So NEC strictly warned that all operational systems, everybody must use a radio. That's why I see Oga was trying to communicate with everybody on radio. With the radio, it has a lot of advantages. Some of the advantages is that when information is being passed on the radio, you are not the only one that is hearing it. Every other person gets that information. If peradventure somebody was asked to isolate a breaker that has a power or that has a current, he or she might get to the field. The process to try to isolate that breaker, it can then get distracted and you go ahead and do something else. And somebody is about doing the job somewhere. So after a period of time, another person can as well call him. As that breaker be isolated, and where he is, you just I was supposed to isolate this thing, and he will go there and do the job. But if it's a mobile phone, he may not hear the information. Nobody hears the information. And if he gets distracted, if anything happens, everybody suffers it. So the radio has a major role it plays. So the best standard in operational system is mobile radio. And here in Geregu, we operate for mobile radio. I think in all our power plants, NDPHC also do that as well. Talking about rules and regulations, there's what we call horseplay. Horseplay will be physical fooling around. When people walk in the work area, you have friends, you have your G, you have your nigga that you walk around with. But when this work gets on and gets on, everybody gets used to one another. It gets to a level whereby I can take this handout from you, I'll run away, I'm free to give you a handout now. Then you try to chase me, you can have a trip, you fall. If you fall, that means there's shortage of manpower, man hours reduced. So instead of us thinking of the team you had and want to go and do the job, the team already reduced. So you can see that we have to now think of replacing that team, which has caused one or two things in constraining the job. That's what we call horseplay. It may not be when people throw items to one another. It could be unhealthy arguments. Sometimes it could be a healthy argument. Most cases I used to talk about, don't talk about Nigeria. If you talk about Nigeria, it can get to something else. Sometimes people talk about soccer, this team won, this team did not won. They get to some extent, become very, very toxic. All these are horseplay. So we used to communicate with colleagues, staffs, everything. Please avoid any form of horseplay. Just concentrate on your task and do the job safely. There's what we call personal protective equipment. It's part of protecting, we use it to protect ourselves on the job and in plant area. But going to the plant area, we have a strict order that anybody going to that area must wear your hazards, your safety boots, and the jacket. This is the jacket, depends on your cover to protect yourself going to this area. So anybody going to that area, nobody is expected to go to the plant area to use any kind of mufti or whatever. Anybody goes in there is a safe act, or we call it a safe act. That means it's violating rules and regulations and backing on it, an action deliberately by himself, which is extremely against health and safety rules on site. So there's another one that part of the rules and regulation, emergency procedure. In the case of an emergency, we also communicate with people. Try not to be in a hurry. Try not to be afraid. You know, we've seen scenarios whereby when there's an emergency, when there's fire, so people instead of them to go to the muster point or jump through the fence, try to sort to think that maybe that would be the hopeful. But the most important thing we communicate when there is an emergency. There could be a drill right now. There could be an alarm, and it will be so sound. You know, all you need to do is just be calm. You don't have to be in a hurry, and just know any exit location, any building you find yourself. If you are in the other building, which is maintenance building, this building is being referred to as administrative building. The other building is maintenance. If you happen to be there when there is a fire drill or any kind of drill or an alarm, you will see through the door as an exit on the door and can locate you down to your master point. The master point is located at the right hand side before you enter the plant area. If you are inside the plant area and peradventure there is a drill, you can find a safety sign direct to you. You keep walking. All you don't need to do, just keep walking gradually, briskly, and you get to the master point. In the case of an emergency, just move yourself down to the master point, which is a safe place for everybody to assemble.
Discussing the key challenges in maintaining gas turbines at Geregu, he highlighted liquidity in the energy market, grid dispatch, among other issues.
The major key challenges we have here in Geregu is the issue of liquidity in the energy sectors. We need enough funds to be able to maintain our units, to be able to make sure that the units are available, and also to be able to make sure that not only availability, they are also reliable. If we don't get enough funds, all these things will not be there for us. So the major key challenges here we have generally is just the liquidity in the energy sector, which needs to be addressed. Though the present government is trying to address that, and very soon, I think the whole issue will be resolved. Another key challenge is also insufficient gas supply. So there are a lot of improvement in the gas line for now. More gas companies are springing up so that we can get enough gas to run the power plant, and which we believe that will also make our unit to be more available. The more gas we get, the more capacity for us to run the unit.
He also pointed at how underutilization of generation capacity at Geregu is being addressed.
The issue of dispatch. Honestly speaking, the dispatch has been very poor, and sometimes we just don't have any option than to shut down our units, especially when people are not taking the load. So on that note, we also want to appeal to the end user, the customers. They should keep using this load so that we can get more of this. And they also need to expand the grid network so that most of this generation can also be evacuated. Once there is enough expansion for the grid, all this stranded power that we're having now will not be there. And recently, we had a discussion with the management of the NISO, Nigeria Independent System Operator, under the leadership of my able MD and our team, on a courtesy visit, and which he assured us that it will soon be a thing of the past. And we are hoping that very soon the dispatching of our units will no longer be zigzag, it will be constantly being discharged.
From adopting cutting-edge SCADA systems to manage operations to addressing cybersecurity risk in a digital world, the team at Geregu is embracing technology to keep the power plant efficient and secure.
Here in Geregu Generation Power Plant, we do preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, corrective maintenance. We also carry out intermediate inspections, which is being done by Siemens at intervals. We carry out minor inspections, as also hours of operation EOH, and there's also what we do. And I must say this, I must give kudos to the new management. Again, under the leadership of Engineer Jennifer Adega and her team. Very soon, by first week in September, we are going to have Siemens on ground to carry out an intermediate and extended minor inspections, which will make the plant more reliable and available at all times. These are part of what we do to make sure that we also monitor our performance. But when you talk of the optimization of the plant, you know, I've mentioned the key challenges. These key challenges are the things that will also improve our efficiency and our performance as a whole. Internationally, everybody is just trying to be very careful now because you need to protect your system. And for we here in Geregu, I must say this, Siemens has a very good DCS, distributed control system, which also, one way or the other, try to make sure that the system is guarded against any foreign attack. Having said that, that's what we are doing now. We are trying to upgrade our system to meet the international cybersecurity standard in the world. This will also make an improvement. And secondly, there's this schedule that NISO is trying to incorporate into the system, which will also help in addressing all this cybersecurity. To us, it's not a challenge. We are technically sound, and we know the importance of being in a world of today. You just have to be mindful of whatever we are doing so that you don't get attacked from any foreign host. We just need to do the needful. Once we have enough fund coming from Engr, most of these our challenges, we'll be able to take care of it very well. And this will solve a lot of problems. We just need that fund. And on this note, I'm imploring on Engr that they should look at Niger Delta Power Holding which is one of the largest power plants, assisting the grid, making the grid to be stable, that we get enough from. Part of what we are even doing to make sure that we stabilize the grid, frequency control, we do that. And apart from the frequency control, we also do spinning. Nobody is being paid for that. So I'm sure Nigerian independent system operator, they just have to look into that so that an agreement can be signed. Whoever is doing spinning reserve or also doing PFI, though PFI is part of the grid code, we may not be paid, but for the spinning reserve, it is highly necessary because it has effect on the machine. I must tell you, we are also part of WAP. I'm also part of the task force of WAP, and we are really working. By next week, there's going to be a kind of an exercise to link two areas together to see how the evacuation can be done without affecting the system within Nigeria. It's a good system, and we have already keyed into that, and we will continue to monitor and get things done. In overall, WAP is a good, is good for the country. It's also good for we, so that any power that is being stranded can also be evacuated through that avenue.
The impact of Geregu goes beyond the plant's gates. By powering homes, schools, and businesses in Kogi State and beyond, it's supporting Nigeria's grid stability and even contributing to the West African power pool, fostering regional energy trade. Engineer Wasiu credits NDPHC's Managing Director, Engineer Jennifer DJ, for her leadership in driving these efforts forward, ensuring that Geregu remains a cornerstone of Nigeria's power sector. The Geregu power plant is more than a facility. It's a lifeline for millions, powered by the dedication of people like Engineer Wasiu, despite challenges like gas supplies and grid instability. NDPHC is lightening the way forward with innovation, teamwork, and a passion for progress. And that's all for the episode of Giant Strides. Join us next time as we explore more stories of progress and transformation across Nigeria. Until then, keep shining and let's keep taking those giant strides together. My name is Dorothy Monday. Bye for now.